Your fate is sealed.
Hello everyone, I'm the 5-minute reviewer, and today I'm going to talk about Marvel's Midnight Suns. Although most video games regarding superheroes are often fast-paced, these Midnight Suns opt for a tactical card-based game. So is it fun? Is it worth playing? Find out in 5 minutes. First, let's talk about presentation. Now, Marvel Midnight Suns opt for a realistic presentation instead of a cartoony look, which works well because the battles are wonderfully animated and the sound and the sight of it is really beautiful to look at. Captain Marvel's photon blast sound as if they have some kick, and Wolverine's shading and unshading of claws feels like it's actually piercing something. So I give props to the animation team for that. If I do have complaints, is one that the headquarters environment to explore, known as the Abbey, is often bland and uninteresting, and I don't find joy looking for collectibles because they're also not very interesting to look at.
The vampires go after.
Another complaint I have is that the female characters look quite ugly. Like here, Storm looks like an old woman and tired looking, whereas in the Storm I remember and want to play as is actually a beautiful young black female. The flip side, unusually the male characters often look very well designed, so I don't know why is that the case. I want to talk about the story. The story in Midnight Suns is quite straightforward and simple with little surprises. Basically, you are this new character called the Hunter, and you are facing off your demonic mother who is on the threat level of Thanos. And this threat is used as the in-story excuse to gather the Avengers, the X-Men, and of course them mention the Midnight Suns to stop her. The story is serviceable and decent, so I have no complaints about that.
I like people.
In terms of story, the game really drops the ball in the aspect of the dialogue of the relationship building. Dialogue is sometimes so cringe, I find myself skipping the dialogue so I can get the points. Now, Midnight Suns has this interesting relationship mechanic where the closer you are to a character, the more benefits you get from it. But sometimes it feels very superficial and for instance, in one example, you have to help Iron Man as he shares with you his fear of the dark. And considering that he's a veteran Avenger, he shouldn't be sharing this information with you the first time you meet him. So it feels very weird and uninspired in the conversation just to come up with something to help Iron Man overcome. Now, where the game really shines is a gameplay. As this is a deck building game, get to build a deck which consists of the abilities your heroes can use during combat. There is a lot of thought that goes into how each character has a different set of cards that do different things. So for instance, let's talk about Iron Man again. They play on the fact that he's egoistic. So the more cards in a row that you play of Iron Man, the more powerful his abilities become. And this is a really good tactical game because the missions can be really challenging. So for instance, just because the mission appears easy at first glance does not mean it will remain easy throughout, because certain tough enemies may suddenly find you and appear to combat you in the next turn. So just be aware that don't rest on your laurels and try to be tactical in your gameplay through this whole game. So all in all, I give this game a final score of 8.10. What pulls it down is its cringe dialogue and superficial relationship building in addition to bland exploration. But what pushes it up is the extremely fun gameplay and combat situations. So if you never tried a tactics game before, this is a good place to jump in. Thank everyone and have a good week ahead. This is the 5-minute reviewer signing off.
Many people do not want to see them.
The modern world continues to surprise me. I had expected better.
Get it done any way we know how.
I am impressed.